Okay, so we're at Pista Fiorano and we are driving the new Ferrari 812 Competizione. So I'm following test driver Franceso Arati and we're doing a couple of warm-up laps here. Relatively low temperature and we're on Cup 2 Michelin tyres, so we just need to get a little bit of temperature into them. Just feel it starting to move around there. One of the key things to note about this car is obviously it's got the naturally aspirated V12, one of the last of its kind, 6.5 litres, but this time it revs to 9,500 RPM. Power goes up a little bit as well to 830 PS, so that's 819 brake horsepower. Torque actually falls slightly, not much, I think it's 510 at 7,000 RPM. And the other innovation is independent rear wheel steering. So the rear wheels steer, but they do it independently of each other now. So the actuators are independent. So it's still moving around a little bit. It takes a little bit of time to get some temperature into these tyres. You can just feel it. The front end of this car is very, very strong. And it's just not quite strong enough at the moment, so let's just work them a little bit harder. So the rear wheels, obviously they steer in the opposite direction at low speed, the same direction at high speed, but now they're independent of each other. Right, so I think we're going for a faster lap now. So braking really, really prompt gear change. That front end still isn't switched on properly yet. Starting to bite a bit more now. Still got a little bit of understeer here, so I need to be careful. Still understeering a bit. Because when it's switched on, I drove it earlier, the front is so strong. It's starting to come alive now. Really natural feel from the steering as well, at the back, the rear wheel steering. Yeah, okay, so we got some temperature now. You can really feel the difference in this car once that comes on. Nice little bit of oversteer there. One thing that you really notice is how light this car feels. It's still quite a heavy car. I think it's about 38 kilos lighter. That puts it in the mid 1400s in terms of you can see that puts it in about the mid 1400s. We need to get going, so we have to back off here for the sound meter, and then we get to floor it. See if we get that 9,500. So yeah, it's really agile. The steering's very, very precise. This front end's super strong. But as you power on, that's a very natural feeling as you lean on the power out of the corner, more so than if you give it some out of a corner and sort of excite it purposefully. More aero on this car. You probably see the car in front we're following. It's got no rear screen at all. That's pretty dramatic. Looks a little bit like the Ferrari bread van, I think, if you know that. The bespoke Le Mans racer from the 60s. Whoa, big bit of oversteer. Well, not big, but it felt it from where I'm sitting. Let's see if we can just lean on it through here, through this last left-hander. As we leave, you can just feel, see that? Yeah. So just when those tyres switch on and come alive, it makes such a difference. Are we going to be on a faster lap now? He's got his hazards on. Here we go. Right, let's go. 9,500. Whoa. down into fourth, down into third. Let's get into this slow corner. On the power progressively, you feel it just leaning out there. Turn into this faster fourth gear one. Really light, agile steering. The back can live with the fast steering though. And as we power out of here, just starting to come alive at the back without oversteering, but lovely bit of attitude. You turn up this fast corner, the front really sticks, back's just starting to come on. I'm in the CT off mode, by the way, so I've still got stability control, but the rear tyres are spinning, so just a little bit, which makes all the difference.
Cool down now and then exit the track.
So just doing a little bit of smoky stuff for the camera. Very interesting there. When you're in faster corners with the rear wheel steering, it feels very natural. When you do something like that and you kind of jab at the steering to excite it and get oversteer, it feels grabbier and less natural and more vicious. And yeah, so obviously the more important thing is that it works really well when you're doing a fast lap. Yeah. But you know, one thing I thought with the last 812 I drove was a GTS, so the Targa version, the convertible. It's a very, very vicious car. You know, in terms of very, very grippy, and then it could go very, very quickly. And just the idea of making that even more aggressive didn't seem quite sensible to me. But this car does work. It is coherent. It's very progressive on the limit as you drive it. We're back in the pits now, and that is our hot lap over and done. So what a fantastic V12. Whew. And we're in. So I'm looking at a rear view camera as well, actually, because of that bodywork. All my rear view camera is actually, it's literally just a camera in the rear view mirror. So quite a different experience. And yeah, my mouth's all dry from driving that. So yeah, amazing car, amazing few laps at Fiorano following from the test driver. So hope you enjoyed being on board.